Jar getting minutes off the bench, off to Richard.
And immediately they go into Condon.
Yep. Got about a 5-inch height advantage, and it pays off.
17th straight game with 70 or more. I'm Carl Ravitch. Enjoy the hoops, everybody. With the foul, and that's number 5 on Elijah Martin. He's out of the game. Quick break coming up. 63-52. 3 free throws ahead. Condon beat Ivisic. He missed. Hauck was there. And it'll be the 5 of 7 from the floor. So far, all outside work for the Gators. Finally, they go inside. Condon can't get it to go. Adu had it, and that's going to...
Condon posting, gets it. Condon finds Martin. Back to Condon. Lay-in, 6.8 on the clock. Again, no timeouts remaining. Florida looking to foul. Gets his own rebound, blocked from behind. I think Martin got that one. Now Martin going to lead the break. Alley-oop to Condon! Rocks the rim, courtesy of Perth, Australia. To Elijah Martin, the former FAU Owl, part of that Final Four team. Condon down low, carved out space. That's a bucket.
Yeah, Condon recognized he had some.
Committed to the SEC. That's more than any other league. So that string of talent continues to flood into this SEC.
And Florida getting every look it wants now. Condon.
Nice action again.
Hey, cheering.
Yeah, really good. Empty corner action. Texas D.
Not sure he got the rim, but regardless, Florida comes out with it. Kaluma's playing with 3. Dump off to Condon. And no look in the left.
Tom, that is big time.
And a takeaway. Condon went for the hammer. Challenged by Kaluma.
Man, does Condon play hard for a kid that
Blowout in their first meeting on campus in quite some time. Clayton had it in and out. Condon pushes it in.
just absolutely outworks you, does Condon.
Aberdeen behind the screen. Texas is just late in their rotations. Condon left wide open. Boom! Kaluma got stuck trying to hedge the screen.
In that pick and roll action.
Yeah, last 3 games he's been a bit sloppy. He has as many turnovers as assists. Condon got behind the defense, and Kaluma rips down that miss.
So far forward in the first half, much better start.
Condon draws 8 eyes, and now it's just Kaluma on him. Very physical back down, but no finish, and into Trey Johnson's hands. Meanwhile, it was open up the passing lane. Condon working hard for a paint touch. Kaluma's got him pushed out and hit the back of the rim. Here's Kaluma leading the break, and now Pope. And again, rebounding, 4th in the country in offensive rebound percentage. They said, well, number 1, we recruit to it.
Yeah.
This is something we look for. Here's Condon for 3. Barely hit the rim in a really slow start offensive. 77-73 win against Oklahoma. And they leave Will Richard for a moment. His 3 is off the mark. This is Florida's strength, but the putback isn't there from Alex Condon. And it will stay with the Gators.
Where does Florida turn for the offense right now? Condon's been quiet. He's going to try to muscle it in. Bad idea. Right in on Murray Boyle's impelling shooter, though. Martin on Conyers takes it right at the freshman. He missed it. And second opportunity for Condon. That impressed me as much as anything after a really rough moment. Condon, he says, about time for me to come alive. Can't get it to go. Murray Boyles grabs another carom. Clayton drives, pivots, dumps it down low. Condon got it with 1 on the shot clock. Final 3 seconds. Conyers going to have to heave it. Condon working on Pringle. The Aussie carving out space, setting up that jump hook shot. Missed everything. Gets his own rebound and missed the follow. Tapped around and finally reeled in by Pringle. Martin thought about a long-range 3. Instead, it's going to be Condon again. Not a bad look, but the shot is off the mark of the Gamecock. Off the inbounds, 3 ball pops out. Gators crashing as they always do. Condon keeps it alive. Condon will fire up a tray. Condon will hit it from Perth, Australia. Harassed by LeFew. Finds Martin. Martin on the mid-range. Shinyulu. And then flying in Condon. That's what teams...
4 a night in league play.
He's from Destin, Florida, but really started his childhood in Athens. Has family that worked at the University of Army night. Cam Matthews, he'll stuff a stat sheet, can dominate a game, scoring 5 points. Condon dominating the rim right now on an alley-oop. Condon of the game.
Now he is capable of making threes, 30% on the year.
Condon going to work on the talented freshman. Left it short, got it back. Condon is just like a...
I don't know how Asa Newell keeps ending up on Clayton in a mismatch. And that's what happens.
And that's the other part of the mismatch. If you've got Newell 23 feet from here, because that's how they stumbled upon the Aussie. They were going to see Rubin in a foreign showcase in Vegas, and they saw that Alex Condon was completely under-recruited.
Similar to the way the game started.
Martin led all scorers with 17. Down low to Condon, muscles his way to the rim, missed it, and out of bounds to Florida. Finding a streaking Condon. Whips it up top. Great ball movement to Aberdeen. Inside Condon, bumped and fouled. Count the basket and the foul.
Back for the interception.
Elijah Martin, who is built like a linebacker and has the quickness of a DB. Condon can't connect from distance. Here, oh, this is Condon. Condon on a repost. Right on the freshman Newell. Gonna muscle him. That's a great take. Had him leaning one way and went the other on the pivot.
See turnover. Inside. And a miss at the rim from Condon. That has been an issue for Florida in this one. Gainey got a fingertip on that one.
Good point, Tom. I do think they're not deferring to the point guard.
Woo. And a jam on the other side for Condon.
Starting to get a little bit of rhythm by Dubar.
Condon finds it. Step through. There's been a lid on that rim for the Gators, huh? So here we go, second half in the top 10 showdown, Florida and Tennessee. Elijah Martin kicks to the corner. Alex Condon is off the mark, and Felix Okpara gets his Gator backcourt. Two-man game with Martin and Condon. Double comes on Condon. Rejected by Cade Phillips. He sent it to the gate. He's at home. Todd Golden really wants his squad to push it a little more deliberate in road environments. Condon rejected by Okpara. Nobody.
With just one home loss this year.
That's that physical advantage. And see if you can get a better shot after moving it around.
Condon with the exclamation point.
And that might be the nail right there. Strong hands.
He only has one miss tonight. 7 for 8 from the floor. Condon a three. Out the offensive board. Martin the reload.
Ole Miss, as you mentioned, up with a lot of time left on that Kentucky team. A lot of time to play in that one, but seems to be in control.
Here comes Tanner off the miss. Lobbed inside, Condon, yes. And Condon with 13. Is often packed to the brim, and it is again tonight, over 10,000 on hand. Home run pass to Condon, and lays it home.
Excellent design play. Look at the ball pressure from Vanderbilt.
Open three, Condon.
Florida's done a really good job and improved that NCAA tournament resume.
13 teams projected to make it in a 16-team league. 3 1 seeds. Hogard tracks down the rebound. Found a new home in Nashville. Aberdeen. Heavy.
Condon, the putback jam. It's the switching defenses in rotation.
McLaughlin had it tipped out. Will Richard comes away with it. Floated into the paint. Condon with the hezzy.
Beautiful pass, but have struggled as of late. But this is a team that plays really good basketball. They're connected well, particularly on the offensive end, but struggling early on tonight.
There's Condon on the feed from Richard.
Clayton. Condon. Left hand, no. And it's Auburn ball. Florida really spreading the court. Condon into the chest of Cardwell, and he banks it in. And Ruben Chinyelu did a great job of ducking. Kick it back out. Condon a little strong on the three.
Boy, Auburn very fortunate there. Former Duke coaches back in the day, and Hubie Brown was spectacular at that clinic.
Condon the flush on the feed from Clayton.
Hubie Brown got up and near layups missed.
Aberdeen. Hauk. Too strong off the glass. Condon is there.
But there is not a time when a shot goes up well with Condon. It gives them two really skilled big guys.
And the home run pass, and Condon is held and scores anyway.
Boy, how about that? Talk about
as much as he wanted to, but couldn't finish.
Talk about a tough two, just wasn't able to complete it.
Condon misses a three at the other end.
Dylan Cardwell's going to have all season.
Clayton finds Condon. And Condon scores over Cardwell.
Boy, how about the pass fake he made in the...
But like basketball more. And he was getting big-time offers in football. Condon muscling Broom down underneath the bucket, and that extends the lead for the Gators. 12 feet away with the right.
He sees a ranked team like a bull sees red. He plays better against ranked teams.
Condon from Aberdeen, and Florida is finding itself at the offensive end.
But Georgia just jumped on him from the get-go. Led 39 to 13. Tapped around Newell with the rebound, and this will do it. The Bulldog. Condon. Now Martin dumps it inside. Condon, little jump hook. And the follow by Hauk. Where did he come from? Crossover back to Condon. Wide open for three. Too strong.
Days at Vanderbilt, and that's what he does. He's a hard drive, and the left-handed guard can get into the lane and finish.
Condon wide open. Blue Kane with the rebound.
But that's something else Coach White talked to us about. Listen, get up a shot. We can get on the offensive glass, get a second chance opportunity. Just great interior work in there by Condon. Get second chance opportunities, get to the free throw line, create some turnovers.
Condon, little pick and roll game, lost the handle going up.
That outfit is what I like to call the Colonel outfit when he puts that one on.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I thought it was the Godfather.
Oh, that was it.
And a finish and one coming for Alex Condon.
Like that. Condon just came off a curl, got to the basket, 2-foot stop, pump fake, finishing.
Here he is again! Right down the pipe! Guys I practice against every day. This is an incredible front line. This is a top 5 team in the country. The guard play is second to none. His teammate Alex Condon getting in on the 5.
It's a big fella out there.
One thing that hasn't gone Florida's way today and tonight has been the shooting of Walter Clayton Jr. Condon gave it a shot. And Larson fighting for it. Florida's gotten off to a hot start. Both teams over 50% from the floor. Condon with a deep touch, and he takes it off the window.
Tommy, we've done games in the past together, and
except a miss at the rim from Henry Coleman, but 5 of 8 from the floor to begin. Condon beats him down the court for a two-hand jam.
The big fella runs the...
Now it's at 10. Clayton look at a drive.
Got the switch.
Bounce inside. Condon triple team. Condon puts it up. No. Hauk had it. Lost it out of bounds. Alabama ball. Clayton turns the corner. Another tremendous lob to Condon for the slam. Alabama with Chinyelu getting the defensive rebound.
Alabama's had some shots at the rim. They just have to complete these plays.
Clayton, another lob and another one-handed jam for Condon.
Boy, Alex balls Florida has picked up, but they have dominated in that category.
Condon's three, too strong. Alabama ball. Goes off target. Loose ball, and out of there with it is Clayton.
Another loose ball that Florida comes up with.
Oh, what a pass by Clayton to a soaring Condon for the slam in transition. During the midway point of the second half, 5-point Florida lead. Almost traveling was Richard. Got it down low. Condon goes to the left hand. Got it back after he missed badly the first time and sticks it home.
Boy, so difficult for...
But Auburn lost the game earlier this year and stayed number 1. Aberdeen with a lob, and great finish by Condon as he got undercut by Nelson as the ball arrived, and it's a 7. Phylon in the paint, in and out, rebounded by Hauk. Richard, Condon got position underneath, and good defense by Nelson.
A ton of contact.
Florida ball, Gators working on a 6-0 run after an 8-0 Alabama run. Condon deep, got the defender off his feet, counted and a foul. Boy, Alex Condon has been huge so far here in the first.
She slowly pushes calories and protein-dense foods. All his caloric intake needs to be during evening hours. He has alarms set for 3 a.m., 5:30 a.m. so he can hydrate and eat meals during the evening, guys.
If you fall asleep under the bucket, Alabama is going to take advantage of it.
Condon nails the 3. That's his second triple, and he turns and
that's his 4th one.
Nelson turns it over. Florida looking to get out and run. Condon, a slam. 5 quick points for Alex Condon.
And those are the turnovers that Alabama off the line make them make a tough 2.
Condon left alone. He'll let it fly and drill a 3.
The most skilled big
in the lane and kicks it out. Alabama, the #1 scoring team in the country. They're #1 in rebounds. Florida #3. Condon misses, and Phylon clears.
Really good.
Condon gets it back from Martin. Spins. Missed it off the front iron. That's going to be basket interference. Alabama.
Condon back on the floor with 4 fouls. Knocks down the triple.
There's the big man lining one up. Ula.
Condon will step out for a 3.
A little off the mark. He's been shooting.
Chinyelu as Florida matching their largest lead of the game up 10. Condon getting a lot of attention, still puts it in. Florida pushes the lead to 12.
Absolutely beautiful. Big time shot maker. There he is with a big one to start things off in the second half.
Chinyelu gives it up, and Condon off the window.
Good readjustment there by Condon.
And he misses 2 months. I think it's hard for the committee to put a lot of weight on a particular injury for just a game or 2. I have a question for Richard, though, and that is...
Settled for that one.
It's been a lot of settling for Ole Miss on their shots. I think they want to continue to try to play connected. You got a beautiful drop-off there on the end-to-end play by Walter Clayton. Trying to get the Ole Miss Rebels back there.
Condon calling for it on the block. Spins and throws it down.
And there's the technical moves of Alex Condon on the low block.
Good hands. He kicks. Richard 3. No good. And there is Condon. No. 7 feet. This is just a case of they just don't have the size or muscle to match the Gators down. No, they don't have it.
And even Todd Golden does the "you're too small for" game. Houck will say, I'll shoot it. A little off. Look who's there for the rebound. Condon, and an easy two.
Again, punishing Missouri for playing small. It's not just the high. High-low.
Yes, and it works beautifully to Condon, and he's there. Houck and Condon on the same page and in the same Condon handler for a guy his size. 7 on the shot clock for Richard, guarded by Bates. Is this the stop they've been looking for? It may have been, and we're going to keep it here. The Tigers, can they get that key stop? It's down to 5. Houck double team, finds his buddy Condon.
That's the payoff that Todd Golden says, fine, we're going to play big, and when we
got to play off of what? And every player answered 2 feet.
Yeah, finds his buddy underneath. That's Condon. Up, no good, and a wedgie up there as Houck pinned it. Second half underway, and a big hole for Missouri to try to dig out of. And speaking of big holes, how about 50 points? Only one other team has done that in the last 25 years of this tournament, and it was A&M last year. Condon was wide open. Now they kick it. Clapshark keeps balance, and the big fella's going to launch, and that's in and out.
Line as well. Condon, and a chance for 3.
Just a little horn set. Look.
Seems like decades ago. So much changes even as quick as a college basketball season can go. Condon, again, another 3.
What do you do?
Florida was ranked in this one.
There's the Iverson cut into a ball screen, slips out of it.
Condon, bothered by Diamante, got a piece of it. And here they come again. What a move by Clayton. The finish for Condon, and it's all Gators. 4 minutes into the second half, Florida out to an 8-point lead. Condon, everything but the finish, and the rebound to Sherrill.
He did such a good job.
Rebound. Short on the jump hook. Condon the rebound. Chinyalu again. Tied.
And Alabama out in transition again.
What a play by Clayton. Just plain and simple took it away. Condon couldn't finish, but Houck cleans it up.
And really,
Martin, the lob for Condon. Really caught under the basket, blocked from behind and blocked again. And it'll be out 3. Alabama off to a hot start. Condon will try a 3. And the offensive rebound, Richard spins. Ziegler makes it a 9-point game. Richard gets it over. Condon lays it in. Clayton to Condon. Met at the rim by Akpara. It's off him out of bounds, though. Florida.
And Todd Golden keeps putting in fresh big guys. I'm sure Tennessee's looking over there going, how many of these guys do you have?
There was a moment in yesterday's game against Alabama right after a time. Richard didn't know the rebound was coming right behind him, or he could have had the ball. Clayton blocked. Condon the follow.
Well, you block a shot, and Condon right.
Florida. Condon again, defended by Phillips. And his jump hook a little bit short. Hand-locked in the rebound. Hand-locked in the rebound. Tennessee has taken 17 shots. 12 of them have been threes. Akpara, not once, but twice. He's got it for the Gators.
Tough to drive with Akpara in that low post.
Look at how quickly the Gators get down the floor, and it's another basket for Condon.
Well, your point, Alex.
Mark.
Well, this has been quite the guard rebounding game. Everybody's sticking their nose in there.
Condon is open. He'll take it. Way too strong. Lanier, quick release, missed the 3, and Condon is fouled. Chaz Lanier, any space at all. Ziegler's got one. Not this time. And look at Condon going way out of his area to go get that rebound.
Alex Condon, one of the best
defending Ziegler. Milicic trying to drive on Condon. Knocked away by Chinyelu. And Milicic down behind the play. It's 5 on. They've been as good as they've been in this tournament, and Condon hasn't had one of his banner games yet, and he's had quite a few down the stretch in the regular season. And now a held ball is the call. A tie on the rebound. Tennessee has taken 17 shots. 12 of them have been threes. Akpara, not once, but twice.
Boy, it was advantage Condon. He sprinted the floor yet again. But Akpara took it away. That was big-time defense by Felix Akpara.
Good. And face guarding Richard. Didn't know the rebound was coming right behind him, or he could have had the ball. Clayton blocked. Condon the follow.
Well, you block a shot with his ability to shoot it.
Gainey wide open. Kept alive by Akpara, tipped by Meshack. Meshack almost stole it, but Condon gets it to Mark. Ziegler deep in the corner finds Meshack.
Good help by Condon.
Darlin Stone-Dubar misses the three, and it's Condon the rebound. Rebounds.
They're not just coming down firing it up. They are getting a piece of the paint first.
Clayton the hesitation. Richard had a good look, and look at the effort by Condon to run it down.
Another pass.
How did he find Stevenson? Phylon. And it's going against Bama. Defensive rebound. Short on the jump hook. Condon the rebound. Chinyelu again. Like nobody's ever said this about the Tide this year. Where's the offense going to come from for them? Youngblood and Miss, they just don't look like themselves right now.
Well, they're being made to play in the half court. Yeah. Florida's made them.
Boy, nearly deflected, and Klapshar will launch a three. Too strong. Look at Condon go up and rip it away. He'll try it again, but real quiet so far tonight. 0 for 1. Barrett all the way to the basket point. He just overshot it. He was right there. Perhaps those tall hands affect that shot. Here.
Gang rebounding by the team in black is a big deal in this one.
Perkins strong, no. And you always got to be careful after a miss on a run out. Little too far from Richard to Mark. Grill sets up. Cannot buy one. Boy, and he's talking to himself.
Florida going to go 2 for 1 here. Grill behind the NBA.
No good. And Condon, and they're going to get the hand reach there. Condon went up, and he was fouled as he came.
Loss for Missouri in this game.
Hauk will say, I'll shoot it. A little off. Look who's there for the rebound. Condon, and an easy 2.
Again, punishing Missouri for play.
So the free throw shots identical. Too strong there, and Condon is able to rip it away. And they will get enough. Good hands. He kicks. Richard 3. No good. And there is Condon. No.
But he is back in the starting lineup. Healthy, providing a huge punch. Inside they go. Condon offensive rebound. And our first whistle of the ball game.
There's the physicality of
Florida deciding to close out on him. There's Drake Davis, and this is his first shot at the rim.
Well, you see the defensive abilities of Florida, and Chinyelu out moving his feet on the
crowd out of it. Here's Davis in transition, goes into the body, no whistle. Dia offensive glass, and he misses.
The pace in the game. These are two physical teams that have to settle down, and they've made sure to respond. He has the experience of making it deep runs in the NCAA tournament, trying to get the Ole Miss Rebels back there.
Condon calling for it on the block, spins and Brown Jones at 6'8" comes on the floor for Padula. Pull up Jay Barnes, his first shot off the mark, and Condon with the board.
Condon pushing the break.
Clayton Jr. hand in his face.
Make sure to play at his own pace. He can score in the phone booth.
Good help D by Elijah Martin with that block. Here's Clayton Jr. trying to lead the break, and he's fouled. There goes Jamin Brakefield, makes the adjustment, missing at the rim. Their team slow shooting to start this game here in Gainesville, but a nice up, and that's what Brakefield did on Wednesday.
He had a huge game against Tennessee. Big points down the stretch of that ball game. Hit big free throws, and extremely efficient performance.
Bottom of the 6 line, top of the 7. Certainly this win, a quad 1A road game, if it were to happen, would be worth at least the seed line for Chris Beard.
On this end of the floor. Davis takes the bump and a wild shot, missing everything.
Florida's on that one line.
Clayton with 15 points, 3 for 6 from downtown. Here's Dia, and another tough shot for Ole Miss.
To the list, as he has a nice touch.
So we talk about it, and this is 1 of 2, and Condon will be fouled on the rebound. See, don't blame the announcers, as Condon gets the rebound and is fouled again,
including 33 points at Kentucky.
The most impressive thing about Walter Clayton Jr. this year is how he's improved his defense. He's really become an excellent defender. Last year, that was not his call.
Clayton, way off the mark. Offensive rebound and a kick to the corner. 3 on the way. Another air ball, but Condon, a third chance. And Condon is fouled by Nelson.
Emphasizing that in the last timeout with physicality. He said, get out in transition, make explosive plays in the paint. Telling his bigs, if you get a log, slam it. Take away their confidence. So Golden trying to inject.
Holloway puts it on the floor, misses again. Bama's 1 of 7 at the rim. That degree of difficulty was a little bit higher than the others.
When the fight begins.
They got 7 offensive rebounds. Back within 2. Lob. Nelson has it blocked. What a play by Condon. And now Richard in the open floor gets the slam. But just lead was 7, and that was when it was 15-8. 4 minutes gone by, second half. Nobody picked up Martin. Florida was way off. Condon, another offensive rebound for Florida. Clayton pays it off with a 3.
Leads to a quality 3.
Makes it a 2-point game. Phylon in the paint, in and out. Rebounded by Hauk. Richard. Condon got to the second half. 5-point Florida lead. Almost traveling was Richard. Got it down low. Condon goes to the left hand. Got it back after he missed badly the first time and sticks it home.
Boy, so difficult for down.
Sears hesitates. Drives, Euro step, floater, no good. And 1 and done again for Alabama. Florida's possession up 12, 6-minute mark.
Off the 3-point line and forcing them into tough 2s, which have been difficult to complete.
Martin can't answer. Another offensive rebound, and Condon will go back to the line. Took a shot to the head in the year. Darion Reed's still out with a hamstring injury. They're not sure they're going to get him back. Outstanding freshman. Condon missed the second. Got his own miss. Clayton for 3.
Well, it was a high-scoring game. I didn't think we were going to get into the 90s, but maybe we will. Taylor's floater rims out, and it's rebounded by Alex Condon. Remember, this one came in 1982 on the road at Texas. Air ball from 2 feet. Florida really challenging inside.
Let them feeding Payne and working through them.
Here's Payne. And Condon the rebound.
That's a good shot, though. 2-foot shot going into a hook, elevating, turned his body a little bit. But
right back. And Taylor with the steal. Still looking for his first field goal. Transition 3, blocked by Condon. Whoa! 20-point game of the year.
And I love the confidence he's playing with.
Taylor confident. Just hasn't gone. 1 for his last 3 from deep. Here's Aberdeen. Here's Clayton off the screen. It's by Phelps, and it's blocked at the rim. But Condon with the putback. Earns a trip to the free throw line.
Love what that lane open for him.
You are biased towards bigs. Wiltshire, no. Condon with the board.
I mean, when they're working this hard, Tom, like, why wouldn't you be biased? I don't have to be biased.
No offensive rebound. Houck ahead of the pack. Extra pass. Condon going to the line with 1:31 to play.
Really good job of Florida.
Early. And even though Florida came back, the Bulldogs were able to finish it off. By the way, I know Lenardi disagrees as of today, but that might be a win that puts Mike White's team into the NCAA.
Florida knew that at some point Georgia was going to throw a little zone at him.
Good rebound by Condon, kicks it back out.
I'm running a little clock here.
Absent at the free throw line, little ball fake up and under, and not so sure that's the shot Georgia wanted.
Probably not. He's a Newell, great defense.
Shot clock at 5. Absent at the logo, left it short. Condon the rebound. One and done for the Dogs. 2:20.
Houck, and one thing Florida really wants to do is get out in transition and score early. Aberdeen, a clean look, rebound Condon. Aberdeen again, and he got it. Broom, what a catch. Yeah, tough one by Johnson. Over Houck, too strong, and Condon comes down for the rebound and is fouled by Moore. To Florida's last 17 points.
The screening Janai Broom into the low post, a little on big screen.
Boy, he always gets back to that right shoulder, but this time couldn't finish.
Junior had it. Just not a rotation to Houck.
Houck, a 30% three-point shooter, had all kinds of space. Condon a rebound, and he's fouled. Wow.
Easy.
No double on Broom. Banging with Condon. And can't hit it. Boy, he backed him down as much as he wanted to, but couldn't finish.
Talk about it.
Houck hit one in the first half. Short on this, Condon the rebound.
They're just quicker to the ball.
Richard got a clip.
We've seen a number of near layups missed.
Aberdeen. Houck, too strong off the glass. Condon is there.
But there is not a time when one thing Florida cannot do is settle.
Kelly, Cardwell, Condon now for Florida. 4 on 3. And it's Auburn ball. Jones had it blocked.
That's a lot of big bodies for Denver Jones to try to.
Because of the pressure. Richard, nice look for Condon down low. He's in amongst the traffic. Good pass, and how about Martin with the fake? He is such a tough kid. A great pickup out of the portal. Has 0 for 11 from three-point land. Long one halfway down. Another offensive rebound by Condon. Yeah. And a bunny there for Alexis. Give Condon the credit. They have 15 points. They average 80 a game. Richard goes hard, beautiful. Reverse, pretty play. Another point in the paint, and they have dominated. The #1 team and unbeaten, the only unbeaten left, is in massive trouble. Condon, pretty play, the alley-oop to Chinyula.
Gives the guards the ability, because they can defend the rim, the guards on the perimeter can press up, and they get a lot of steals.
Elijah Martin, and a nice seal there by Chinyulu to open up that laneway for Martin. Division I in offensive rebounding percentage. They get back 41% of their misses.
And it's not just the big guys, great pass.
And a great backdoor cut, and Denzel Aberdeen, the junior from Orleans.
You really have to fan out the three-point shooters, and that opens up drives and cuts to the basket.
Richard drives and lays it in. Boy, when Will Richard wants to get to the rim, good luck for Florida. Richard for 3. And another offensive rebound. Martin will try again and knock it down.
And that shows for
team Donnie Jones, the head coach of Stetson. Will Richard, aforementioned. Those are the two guys we highlighted at the top. Big to big, Chinyulu for 2. That gets us started. Championship. Sonka cruises in with 5. Condon another rebound. Richard strides in, defender on his hip. And the Gators now up 4.
How about that for the vision of a big guy?
Poised for the rebound. 15-footer. How about that?
That is an assist.
Little touch pass underneath.
18-10 the Gators. Richard with 9. Getting it inside for the quick strike on Aberdeen, who's only 6'5", plays bigger than that.
Really good
Gators have been impressive here in the first 20 minutes. Aberdeen slithering downstairs to lay it in. Beautifully run play.
If you don't jump to the ball, you get beat back door.
Condon on the move with the cut and the slam. Got Richard airborne for 2.
There was a switch and Condon
on him. Tight defense here. Aberdeen again. Got it. Boy, is he a confident shooter.
And he is really good off guards on the floor for Hubert Davis.
Clayton, no room to shoot. Gets to the baseline, lays it in, and a whistle too. He draws the foul. He'll be on the line looking for a 3-point. Condon on the high post. Handing off for Martin. Martin with a step back. Sinks at a 3.
He gets the switch. And he
had a 12-0 run to give him a little bit of a separation. Here's Clayton. Nice ball fake on Quaintance. And boy, that was in rhythm and perfect.
That was beautiful. You talk about use it.
Richard. Entry pass to Condon. Boy, nice ball fake and throws it down with authority. My goodness. Here's Condon. Chinyalu underneath, another dunk. The Gators, if it's not a 3, it's a...
Condon got a huge size advantage on Buchanan. Couldn't do anything with it. Aberdeen gets hit in the elbow, and he scores it. Aberdeen. Condon wants it again. Out of the double. Cutting out. Will score it. Another opportunity for a 3-point play.
Another block for Ruben Chinyalu. He's got 4. Condon stop playing, man. What a 2-hand stop.
More as a board guy than a scorer. Wait, Southern Illinois is going under these ball screens. They are daring Florida to do just that.
Well, that's one of the guys we were talking. 5 consecutive power programs, if you will. You'll really start to find out just what this team is made of. We know what Walter Clayton is made of, and you knew their wings averaging over 13 rebounds a game. It's not just bigs that get the key boards. Nice big-to-big pass there, and a 2-hand slam for Chinyalu. That's he can be a bubble team.
Right.
That's how strong the SEC is expected to be this year. Richard pulls the trigger on a 3. That's the pretty stroke that he displayed.
Better job defensively to get out there by Will Richard blocking the shot. Gators just keep working the basketball around and find the open man. Opportunity there for Florida State. Condon at the other end finds Alexis, who throws it down. Big answer for number 20 Florida.
It's no one else to create for someone else. It's just situations like that where you pass to someone and you want them to attack and score.
Aberdeen, tough finish along the baseline.
Still only a 13-point game. A lot of time left. Condon breaks that pressure. Chinyalu goes up top. What a goal. Oh, point forward for Condon. Clayton. Logo lands.
How about Condon?
That may go in. Post to post finds Richard up and under.
There wasn't anything pretty about that possession.
Left hand with the finish. He can finish with both.
Is he earning these though?
Hard-earned 18, and Clayton staples one down.
Again, how about the versatility of Condon?
Thomas Houck into the game for the first time. That's number 10 in the white. Again, part of that deep front court. That's a great cut by the vet. There's Clayton.
So Clayton has about...
To put their student athletes in the best position just to succeed here moving forward. That's one way to break the press. Will Richard throws down another.
Will Richard.
It's a
outstanding wide receiver.
Condon, the cut by Richard, knocked away by Milicic. Ziegler racing down the floor. Klajar's place for the Gators. Condon asking for the ball, and an offensive foul. Grant Nelson to
Florida Gators 5 of 6 from the Florida start. There's a first turnover for Florida. And a run out for Grill. Good pass. That boy, Houck spins all the way around to find Elijah Martin. Good hands, Barrett. Great effort there to dive to get it to him. Grill wide open.
Needed those type of buckets, and they needed them and took advantage of it.
Condon had that one taken away by Klafke. Good energy he provides, the freshman from Brazil.
Basketball. They play complementary basketball, which they don't give up the easy turnovers.
Here is Murray. Got his hand on it, and he'll be fouled trying to get the breakout. Trying to put a stamp on this one. Doubled up. Padula takes it away. And he is clocked.
The eighth. Condon underneath, got bumped. Condon throws it into the backcourt. And so a turnover by the Gators. That is their 9th.
30. Condon. There's the double. They bring it monster from the block. And it turns into a Texas A&M takeaway. Now Karam in the front court gets it back to the Gators. Condon with the feed to Aberdeen. Hanlogton gives it right back. And Taylor with the steal. Still looking for his first field goal. Transition 3 blocked by Condon.
They're going to be in Lexington Tuesday night. Wildcats and the Balls. Condon runs it down, but Chinyelu couldn't handle the pass.
Almost an outstanding save to Ruben Chinyelu. Will Richard averages 5 rebounds a game, as does Elijah Martin. He's not playing in this game. Boy, not a good pass. One-handed by Condon, not necessary.
Shot clock down to 5 for Condon. Working on Newell. Throws it right at the feet of Houck, and it'll be a turnover on Florida. Georgia's only down 5 a year. Condon going to work on the talented freshman. Left it short, got it back. Condon is just like a human avalanche down low.
And you've heard me say this before too, if you play a 32-game schedule, I fully believe that there's going to be a couple of games that you play just sensational, and a couple you're just going to stink the joint. And right now the Gamecock offense getting whatever they want.
All Gamecock points, with the exception of the Murray Boyles 3, have come in the paint.
10 to shoot for Florida. Condon throws it right into the Gamecock bench. We talked about sticky defense by the Gamecocks right now. Shot clock is at 2 for Condon. Runs into a brick wall. Offensive foul. Guess who drew it?
Compete when the ball's on the gloss. I assume he meant the backboard.
Yeah, I think so. That's what they call it down there, the gloss. Another shrimp on the body.
Without a single turnover, I might add. Condon muscling his way inside. Shot clock down to 1. Doesn't matter. It's a turnover on Florida. That's 5 giveaway.
Good thing they still set their defense.
Big difference between turnovers and live ball turnovers. Speaking of turnovers, Florida coughs it up. Missouri scoops it up. Hey, that's an extra possession. And Condon tears away the rebound and gives it right back up. He never saw Bates. Mitchell.
That physicality, but really what the Wildcats need to do is get to the second side of the floor. Florida can really muck things up on the first side.
Knocked away by Owe. In transition, the Cats.
That's 7 feet tall.
Right.
I'm like, yeah.
You never got that.
In my dreams.
Well, look at this. The point forward turns out to be disaster.
And that's an exact reason why right there, Mark.
Gators getting happy with the ball again. Condon.
Hey, I hate to say it, Mark, but it's going to turn into ACC is going to want to play against the SEC more, and the SEC is going to say no thanks.
Spurl, North Carolina.
Really playing out of position, having to guard Condon, who's 6'11". He's given up some size and some strength, but there's the double by Lubin.
Lubin came in, knocked it free. Carolina quick
20.
The Tar Heels just snapped a 3-game losing skid with a win on Saturday against LaSalle. And a reach and a foul here with 15:45 to go. We'll take our first time out. Clayton off the screen, back to Condon. Condon wants to make a move inside, lost his footing, and he travels.
I don't even know why he tried to counter. He already had
thought about it. Bounce pass down to Condon. He's got a couple of inches here on Spillers. Spins, pump fake, and then he took some steps. Yeah, lost the pivot foot. Kevin, this has been a little bit of everywhere in this second half, making his presence felt. Fredrickson pokes it away. A couple of turnovers here forced by the Deeks. Salas got it to go.
Coach Ham loves size. So the 6'7" wing, that's versatile. Loves to defend, switch, does everything. As you can see, great job defensively there. They're going to help down and dig in the post when they can't front.
Nice feed from Ewan to Watkins.
But they're going to have to get their bigs to stretch the floor and make some shots as well.
There's a turnover force. Perimeter. This is Will Richard. He spent a year in Nashville at Belmont before transferring to Gainesville. Condon high-low, and the pass is stolen. Bull Bowen makes a bad pass. Game at Syracuse when the great Dave Bing was there, and I've never seen you turn into a fanboy.
He is.
To go see Dave Bing.
I usually don't tweet about guys, and I put on Twitter like, hey, this is I'm standing next to a true legend.
Yep. All recruits, and it's Houck who took a hard spill. He's still down. Clayton goes up the ladder. Houck is slow to get to his feet, and that presents a stoppage in play to make sure Tom Houck is okay.
They have 10 wins right now against teams predicted to be in that NCAA tournament. They are no joke.
Now big body down low, throws it up and in. It's a little Tuesday on us. Wow. Woo. Inside, Brown Jones, and he will draw the whistle.
The year, and that could have some effect on second apron.
Nelson goes to the left hand, came up short. And it's Florida ball. Look,
one-on-one. I like them feeding Payne and working through them.
Here's Payne. And Condon the rebound.
That's a good shot, though. 2-foot shot going.
Into Godfrey. He'll go up strong, won't go. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be Florida basketball.
In this game.
Broom going to work on Condon. Trying to get back to that left hand and somehow gets it to go.
Well, Condon did a great spectacular in a Gators uniform the last 2 seasons.
Very talented high school football player. Played offense and defense, quarterback, wideout, DB. But like team to Florida's last 17 points.
The screening Jani Broom into the low post, a little on big screen.
Boy, he always gets back to that right shoulder, but this time couldn't finish.
Cardwell, they're not giving up anything easy.
No double on Broom. Banging with Condon. And can't hit it. Boy, he backed him down.
Named Hortensia. And how they handled box and 1 and triangle and 2 against Hortensia.
Yep.
And all from memory.
Yeah.
Amazing.
If you've never had dinner with Hubie, 18 points. He's got a game-high 8 assists today. Johnson over Condon. As off.
Parra able to find it. Going to work on Condon. Nice touch by the big fella.
The road against 5th-ranked Florida today. James, little jump hook shot. The sophomore left it short.
Is a scoring option. Watch out. Inside. Pringle muscles his way. Talk about great real estate.
The 1,000-point mark.
Mike, it seems like that's Florida. Other than the turnovers, that's been Florida's easiest points in this game.
Pringle turned around and missed it. Now backing in. Trying to carve out some real estate here. Sets up that left-handed hook shot. Missed it. Pringle offensive rebound.
Clayton Jr. is in a funk offensively when you count what he did against Tennessee and to start this game. Ivisic down low. How about Condon? Ivisic never really left the ground.
Is a much improved defensive team from last season. They protect the rim. He does a good job of loading to the ball.
Andrew Carr got a pretty good look at it. It couldn't hit it, and it's tipped.
He may screen first and come off something, but look for the screener. There it is. Look for the screener.
Garrison, no! And Condon did.
Murphy underneath. He's more of a spot-up shooter. Fadeaways, an air ball. 10 to shoot for UNF.
Lubin.
Clear it out.
On Condon, right by him, lays it in. What a quick step.
Really nice execution.
It's a basket for Monte Boshniak into the game. Here's the big Croatian senior. Starting to barge into Condon, goes over the left shoulder, down and out. So games, 130 plus hours. And we're going to crown some champions today far nobody. They'll try to guard him in Maui coming up. Bruce Pearl's squad will take part at Feast Week. We'll tell you about all the SEC teams overseas. They weren't sure what the timeline was going to be. It was sort of a surprise to this Florida staff. Line Charles, right hook over Condon.
It's usually because they are ball watchers. You have to be between ball and man. Another solid hook shot here by.
Asked Coach Golden about Walter Clayton earlier today, playing that new role as a point guard. Said he just fits right in.
Nice.
No negative notes. As Condon, they will get a whistle. League. Taking over for longtime head coach Robert McCullum. Did not have his contract renewed as Condon, big time swat.
Maluk gets as we get forward, but you get outside of those two blue bloods. And what does the ACC look like? There's question marks for everyone this early in the year, but be interesting.
And they're back in front by 1. Reynolds trying to use his size and physicality to his advantage. And 25-point game for Will Richard. Reed could not answer on the other end. Deontay Green goes up. No. Martin clears it.
Inside the final minute of regulation. Boswell. Ziegler lost it. It's Florida ball again. Rick
Powell knocks down the triple.
There's the big man lining one up. And now the steal for Condon. Trying to put a stamp on this one. Coleman finds the rebound though. Wiltshire. Ooh, he was getting ready to shoot early. That's like a shortstop dropping the double play ball. It was right there for him.
It was there, and he was ready to let it fly too.
Take it away. Here's Condon in the open floor. Oh, pushed in the back and a foul on it.
Terrific offensively all year. It's its defense that's the most impressive thing.
And a lob won't go. A missed alley-oop, but a steal by Condon.
That's Dubar. And then here's Gainey. Just makes an athletic play. Good hustle, great block.
And that's stolen away by Condon. And he gets fouled at the rim. And the home crowd offensive rebounds for Tennessee in this trip alone.
They're doing to Florida what Florida usually does to their opponents.
Parra got a little sloppy with that one. Tennessee turnover.
Catching it right off the bench and jacking a 3, just the way Mark Wise does in rec ball. Alley-oop pass deflected away, scooped up by Richard. Full throttle to Clayton.
Yeah, the tough 2 in the mid-range.
Tough 2 with a little fade on it. And that's been the problem. An unforced turnover on Pringle that time. Let's see if it leads to by Florida. Right on a 3. Good look. Pringle there for the rebound, and then he turns it over. The turnover starting to rack up. Powell leads the break. Murray! He dribbles out of it. 6 on the shot clock. Davis dribbles it off his foot right into the hands of Condon. Richard,
too easy.
Clayton left alone.
Well done. They are on campus. Texas turnover, and the Longhorns, the mercy of an 8-0, now 10-0 Florida per game. Larry got a step, and the lob went up in front of the rim.
Yeah, the pass was there to be made. Larry normally very accurate as a passer. Shot that time by Alexis.
And a Texas turnover. Onyema lost the handle on it. With 3, dump off to Condon, and no look in the left. Tom, that is big time. And a takeaway. Condon went for the hammer. Challenged by Kaluma.
Man, does Condon play?
Bates bottled up. Bates is going to try to dribble out of it. Runs into his own guy. And Condon is there to corral it. No need.
Well, Wagner just threw it away to nobody. And there's another pass to no one. Calipari right away to Adu to take Ivisic out of the game after.
End of practice, we have to finish non-conference strong. I don't care about the opponent. Ball gets thrown away, loose ball for Condon. Gators on a break. The Australian spins in. Chinyalu.
Opportunities, they had a 2-for-1, they didn't complete. And then I don't think they've executed perfectly here in the second half.
Off the inbounds at theft, Richard comes up with a Condon back.
Trying to jitterbug his way around him. Ames with 3 to shoot. Richard got hit in the face there. No call either way. And 6 for 13 from 3 on the year. This is the largest lead for Florida. Threatening to pull away, and Condon jumped the passing lane, and he is fouled.
No Denzel Aberby, no Sam Alexis. Seen minimal time in the first 4. Sterling Young turns it over. Gators fan out. Clayton all the way to the rim with a
kickback. Notice that Brown had to step back to get that 3. He thought about it, and I said, oh, man, I better not vacate this.
Clayton runs the break. Martin.
A little too soft with the 2 fouls.
They almost owe Lato with those 2 fouls.
Watch
and a
out.
takeaway. Condon. Big time contact, and Ross had no other choice.
Robinson a miss. Clayton the rebound, but it's knocked away. And Kentucky's got it. Another block at the rim. Martin with a...
Yeah, I'd rather for him just catch it and lay it in.
Lay it in, absolutely.
Here's Jordan Wood, the 5th-year forward, deterred by Condon. Thompson had that opening 3.
I was always too afraid to do something like that. I just wanted to, I thought about how embarrassing it is when you miss a dunk by yourself.
Highlights upon highlights. Condon with the block.
Would be the guard, Will Richard.
Cross-court pass. Underneath. Murphy miss. Florida, this is when they're at their best.
The closeout, we've seen the beautiful step back earlier in the first half. Him being able to use that pump fake to get to the rim.
Air ball from Barry. Here come the Gators.
5 total who remain undefeated in D1. And a quick steal. Davis with the pick to begin the second half. To the left hand. Can't finish it. Florida got back defensively. And whose ball is 12? Yep, Jackson. Backward to go. Is Washington with a catch. Denied. Condon got a hand on it. And it's going to remain North Carolina.
Man came in averaging 16 a game. And since he's been coming off the bench, it's almost 20 a game.
He's a phenomenal talent, but this might be a different level of guard play.
Deep shot clock, as is typical for UVA. Ames will drive it at Condon, who rejects it. A quick 5-on-4 of the game.
Martin, that's Martin, of course. Who else would it be but Elijah Martin, who's been terrific tonight? Martin with a game-high 20. There's Jordan Chapman down the lane. Nowhere to go. Condon to help deep.
If you win the elbow off the bounce, you should win that possession.
Ooh, great block by Condon.
Blocked by Condon. Matthews on the wrong end of the coach of the year in their league. Taking over for longtime head coach Robert McCollum. Did not have his contract renewed as Condon, big time swat.
Got to love stay healthy with the added depth that they have, man.
Ewan gets his own miss, attacks Condon again, gets the defender in the air, dumps it off. Bowen is denied. Condon with the block shot, and then the foul comes.
Sets for defense, and early mistake here with the Seminoles, and every time they've made a mistake, they've been punished.
Condon again with some big defense. Martin.
Gators 4 of their first 8. Off the curl, Stevenson gives it up, the swap by Condon. It was Ross going up the ladder. And a slow half-court tempo. 5 to shoot. Try to squeeze one up. Chinyelu and Condon both there. McCray. A block from Condon. Payne. Stick back.
Oh, nice job of Payne's detail on McCray than Florida had against USF.
Boy, how hard has he had to work tonight off screens. Well, KG might have gotten tipped by Condon.
So here's the defensive end. That sets the tone for this Gator squad.
This veteran has come in and made quite an impact. Oh, it's Condon. Sends that one into the second row behind the basket.
But the defensive improvement from last year to this year for Florida has been really impressive. They could score last year, they couldn't guard.
Andrew Carr will miss the three. Jackson
brings a ton of physicality on the ball against Lamont Butler.
Carr up top, wide open. Tries another three, and this time he buries it. Over 9 times, but Jay Kentucky has turned those turnovers into 20 points.
Yeah, they've been very efficient scoring off those turnovers.
Lamont Butler knocks down a corner three.
Now a buzz here in this sold-out arena. Jordan Wood quiets the crowd.
Your name in the portal. You don't have to choose your school. Sure. I believe that you have an ornament amount of time before you actually have to choose a school. If a coach is fired or leaves, or
44% foul shooter, but he hit them both. Skip pass. A 3 is in for Murphy. Again, wanted some rebounding.
Sophomore now from Nigeria, played his freshman year at Washington State. Only 6 points a game. And nothing but air under that long jump shot.
He can score and he can defend.
15 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists this weekend. One and done, Carroll. A lot of contact on Lubin. He kicks it out. Trimble looking for a shooter in the corner, but that won't fall.
I think both of these teams are two well-balanced teams. You'll see some inside play, some outside play, dynamic guards that can shoot from outside.
Miller misses.
Off the ball, always communicating, and does a good job on both ends of the court.
Quaintance lines it up. Perfect. Jaden Quaintance, the fresh turnovers.
Not what we're used to seeing in the Cavaliers and all those great Tony Bennett seasons. There's a 3 for Saunders. He's got...
Bumped them off their mark on so many occasions here. He already highlighted the shooting woes. Washington lines one up. That just goes down and out. Ballard.
Kids like to say he's got a bag, and there's plenty of moves, plenty of shots in that bag. Deep 3 on the way. That's a young man they've got to get going. Elijah Elliott. Mayo up top to Sykes.
Got to be careful.
In the hands of Alik Bay.
Excuse me, Mike. You got to be careful about throwing that.
He doesn't have that freshman fear of how to play. He's been taught how to play the game because it's a different basketball game overseas.
All whipping around the perimeter. Here's Ross. Can stretch it at that 4. Skitters out. Transfer from NCAA title. That famous image when he emerged from the tunnel. Game 7. 3 to shoot. Flipping to that Nick rim. Doesn't matter. Low from 3 for him. Cray from way out there, just trying to provide a spark. Borio, bucket.
Yeah, that's a guy that can. I should have counted twice.
Well, Condon already in double figures now with 10. Okagee, does he have another little heat check?
Clayton Walsh, this Australian, his first basket. South Florida has the early edge, up 9-6. Jaden Reed throws it up for the first time from deep. Numbers here for the Bulls. Reed, bounce pass, a good look inside to Reynolds. Kick it out. There's Jennings. Yes.
Number 13. Philon, the freshman who was so good in the quarterfinal win yesterday over Kentucky. The assist on the basket by Grant. Got a chance to play and came in and started knocking down shots. Kind of just forced his way into the rotation. They had some injuries in the middle of the year. Martin and
level offensive basketball, both teams among the best in the country.
Big time offensive teams.
Diabate, no inside, but a late whistle, a foul.
From Solomon Washington. A red hot start for Texas A&M, except a miss at the rim from Henry Coleman. But
now Chad Baker-Mazara. Shot clock inside 10. Broom from 15, around and out, and the rebound down to Will Richard. There has been a 24-point swing in this game. Broom lays it in and one.
A little bit of time off, then Auburn doesn't get into anything till about 16 on the clock. Good pass.
Broom banks it home and a foul.
In the opening half.
A road win at that would be massive for the Commodores.
Here's Carey. Floater no good. His first miss. 5 to shoot for Hogarth. Sips it into Carey. Can't get it to go, and the tap back won't count. A shot for the 11th time tonight. Tanner scoops. Carey to the rim with the left hand and flexing down.
That is built on working out first thing. So they got Thursday morning off, and there's a nice finish by Onyema. Came in, got some work done. Back
game. Under 3 minutes to go. Alley-oop pass. And Gray gets fouled as the ball pops out.
He hands it off, able to corral. May have gotten away with a step, but he puts it up and in off the window.
Yeah, did look like a little bit. Jackson, Backford to go. Is Washington with a catch, denied. Condon got a hand on it, and it's going to remain. Davis up on the logo. Nice pass, and that leads to a foul on the bounce.
And Longton, who has been the ultimate hype man this year, slipping through to Kofi and a foul. Florida just keeps stretching.
Will help you offensively.
Captain Reed, couple of dribbles. Barges right into Condon. It rolls off the rim.
Great ball movement that time. The layup missed, the stick back missed, but a
Brown that he's going to see expanded run. No Denzel Aberdeen, no Sam Alexis. Seen minimal time in the first 4. Sterling Yellum turns it over.
Akpara trying to thread the needle, and he does. Cade Phillips with a reverse. A terrific. His 4th 3 of the game, and he's now got 20. Ziegler up top. Akpara the finish.
Mark Sears, Elijah Martin, a great on-ball defender.
Grant Nelson, good matchup with Alex Condon. Cliff Amori to Sears. The pass back through his 25.
Klopjar with a little handoff, then came back to the ball and got a screen from Condon. Beautiful.
And at the other.
Sears pulls it out. Nelson thought about it, hesitates, now drives, attacks, good feed underneath, and the basket by Amori.
Grant, it's up to them to keep everybody in the right mind state, knowing that you can get it done.
Taylor to Payne, blocked by Condon.
So block Hardy down there.
A few who is looking to get himself back on track from that three-point line. That's a nice bounce pass underneath. And R.J. Godfrey.
Boom will set a screen. Now he's going to shoot out to the corner.
Johnson. The assist to Broom. 12-point game.
They went right.
Nickel, scoop, McClellan puts it down.
Nickel does a phenomenal job of catching the ball.
Straight threes. A whistle on the reach-in. Meshack fumbles it. Opara picks it up, and he gets a call after Condon picked up his third. Glass again. 2 offensive rebounds for Tennessee in this trip alone.
They're doing to Florida what Florida usually does to their opponents.
One of the reasons why opposing teams do not like going up against Condon. And he's going to bang with you. He'll pick up a foul here as he goes out and said, I want to get that man to Gainesville. They gave him the offer shortly thereafter, and he wound up making the decision to play for the Florida Gators. And that's Klobuchar catching it right off the bench and jacking a 3, just the way Mark Wise does in rec ball. Alley-oop pass. Not another 3. Thought about it. Murray Boyles, big to big inside. Pringle right on Condon, and Carolina
Is and how you must play.
Here's Pope. He can be a great scoring option for him and also dishes well. And a rejection at the rim. Gators with a chance to. Teams are less than 65 points per game. Larry got a step. And the lob went up in front of the rim.
Yeah, the pass was there to be.
Offensive rebound for Texas. Second chance. Kaluma sneaks through. What a pass from Pope.
That was a big-time cut by Kaluma.
Here's Robinson. He's been a problem for this Florida defense. Shot clock ticking down. Beautiful feed inside. That is Mitchell.
And a run. Well, Wagner just threw it away to nobody. And there's another pass to no one.
Carr spins. What a pass. Williams up and in with the left hand, and it is an 8-point.
Wore the glasses.
Avila. Backdoor Wood, strong take.
But it wasn't great.
No.
And because of that, that's the reason why that strength of schedule is 57. There's a big to big.
It's tough, man. You put these teams on the conference.
Kubliskas getting some.
Richard.
Cross-court pass. Underneath. Murphy miss. Florida, this is when.
Love to see that. No, it makes you hungry, doesn't it?
Especially now. Speaking of that, this is Spillers. He's hit a couple close-range looks. Happy Thanksgiving Day.
During that Final Four run, speaking of runs, it's a 10-0 Gator run. Inside, no, tapped around. Martin tears down another. Won that game despite the fact that Shinsis led the way with 19 points.
Oh, great pass.
Great pass, sneaks it through, threads the needle, layup missed, tapped around.
If he does that to me, I'm hollering trainer.
Trainer.
But you got to shoot if you're Hendricks after that, right?
You got to shoot it. You got to shoot it. You do.
Even if it's a bad shot.
Who cares?
They have really bottled him up.
Moss goes to work on that hook. P.J. Edwards. McCray. A block from Condon. Payne. Stick back.
Oh, no. Than Florida had against USF.
Boy, how hard has he had to work tonight off screens? Well, KG might have gotten tipped by Condon.
Condon off the bounce, somehow kept the dribble. Nice look from Green. Reynolds, a miss, a triple team, draws the foul.
And Elijah Martin really went after Jaron Stevenson there. He's a strong guard as well.
Boy, Diamante just put his head down. 1 year with Belmont, 3rd year in Gainesville. Sears driving, blocked by Condon, saved by Hanlogden.
Caleb Brill, 1 of 5 from the floor. Bates takes Condon. That's a pretty play for a lefty. That'll full court line. This is Allen handling the ball. Great block there by Condon. He wants to go up again.
Possession for Florida. 1:45 to play. Aggies down 12. Phelps dancing with it. Got a step, and he blew the layup.
No, it's a win. They have ability to drive past them and create for others.
MJ Collins Jr. Oh, that's nifty on the step back.
There you Boyles. Murray Boyles dribbles out.
Isolation.
Yep, one-on-one on Condon. Little bully ball takes it in on both Florida bigs. And Carolina. Right, takes it into trees. High arcing shot to get it over Condon.
Week, and the Tigers held on to win. Here's Kaluma. There you go. And that is a snapshot of the Texas offense. And he said a lot of people think it's about strength 100%. It's more about leverage. Kaluma maybe walked with it, but got a whistle. And there's
another terrific hire in this league, which is another reason why the SEC, the most dominant league in college ball right now.
Kaluma had a nice drive but no finish. Vandy now.
Wheeling and dealing. Pretty move by Jacob Cruz. Up top, Mitchell takes it in on the Aussie. Mitchell can't get it to go. Condon saves it.
Clayton Dubar has it. Not a three-point threat. 8 on the shot clock, where 8 goes into the lane, and he threw it up a wild shot. Good defense by Condon. We'll see. Is that going to...
Brea back out beyond the line. He's got a big on him in Condon. Here he goes. In and out.
Big should work on a dribble drive penetration, giving your guard a chance to bail. You can bail them out and get an easy bucket.
This is where the game
season. They are one of just 4 unbeaten teams in all of college basketball. They enter 11-0. North Florida, their first possession, bothered at the rim, and here 4 from downtown. North Florida has started 2 for 7.
Yep. Okay.
Crossover. An air ball hoisted up by Oriole.
The beautiful step back earlier in the first half. Him being able to use that pump fake to get to the rim.
Air ball from Barry. Here come the Gators. Florida's just completely dominated the glass. They have 20 offensive rebounds. UNF with 18 total for the game.
In the second half, North Carolina has been by far the better team. Jackson penetrates and backs it in.
See, that is a smart play. You get the switch.
He's always hawking a shot, and he's so quick on the release. And here he goes again. That rimmed out. 82-82. Condon penetrates, hesitates. That was nicely done.
You know, one of the things Todd...
Period, drive into the paint, a true two-way player.
Freeman. Tough shot. Quainton's rebound, and he's fouled by Chinyalu under Miller. Backs it out. Working on Condon on the baseline. Little step back, and can't get the kind roll here at State Farm Arena.
Defenses of Florida got Condon out on the point guard.
Oh, that was nifty.
Yes, it was.
Mason.
15 straight for Florida. Here is Saunders. And Saunders will get to the line. Try to be in that game. 2 losses have been the last second losses to Kentucky and Kansas. Shot clock didn't.
Elliott, and again, another late clock. Shot clock under 5. Baseline desperation heave, and the rebound torn away. He's definitely got his most talented team during his stint there. The story here has been Elijah Martin, 30 points, but
the physicality isn't your game. Staying in front of the basketball in the big, it's got to be a strength.
Ewan gets him right back at the other end.
Some jump shots, or set some ball screens and force the guards to force rotation.
Ewan did everything but the finish.
Fortunately, conference play, everything shakes out.
Watkins fouled by Alex Condon.
Clayton was looking to be a facilitator. 7 assists in the win over the Dolphins.
Yeah, in some ways, I think, Kyle, he's still trying to find his way as a scoring point guard.
And the slow half-court tempo. 5 to shoot. Try to squeeze one up. Chinyelu and Condon both there. Gators have shot it better from 3 from the opener. It's 7. 4 to shoot now. McCray, late hoist.
Milicic trying to drive on Condon, knocked away by Chinyelu. And Milicic down behind the down with a rebound. Inside the final minute of regulation. Boswell. Ziegler lost it.
A&M last year shows sort of a trend in offenses and the way that teams are playing different styles. As Pierce had that ball knocked out of his hands. Perkins trying to use his size against Aberdeen. Good ball fake by Robinson. Pretty play.
Well, he has played well, right? And that's what Brakefield did on Wednesday.
He had a huge game against Tennessee. Big points down the stretch of that ball game. Hit big free throw.
Field. Texas started the day as the second team out. So they're going to play tonight. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose.
On the line for that game. Traditional rivalry. That'll be a huge one.
Clockley had that one blocked. Padula.
The crowd wanted Nelson to take the 3. Instead, he drives and spins, got Condon off his feet and fouled. And so Condon commits a second foul.
Barely found the rim. Coleman finds the rebound, though. Wiltshire. Oh, he was getting ready to shoot early. That's like a shortstop drop in the double play.
Shot. 5th-year player, 2 at Morehead State, 3 here on the Plains. That was his 399th career block. Pettiford with 5 off the bench for the Tigers.
There's that flex rollback. Whoa.
And Broom.
Nickel back into the game with 2 fouls. That's why. His ability to make shots and spread the
pointed pass. Elijah Martin to Condon.
Former high school quarterback, 4-star recruit on the gridiron. Carey responds with a left hand.
Great job by Jalen.
Georgia defender, that was Justin Abson, who goes 6'9", 245. 3 ball. No. Hauk flying in.
Whatever shot they want.
Newell's been quiet. Hasn't been much.
Bozeman for Doc, blocked by Condon. Condon, one of the best shot blockers in the league. Going away. Now Wright trying to feed Murray Boyles, who's tripled. Kick out to Wright, 2 to shoot. Wright's got to fire it up, and he does. Weaving his way through traffic.
Johnson into the corner.
And a very physical switch onto Johnson as well.
Kaluma, 15-footer. The Longhorns are not a... Kaluma with the ball fake. Oh, wow. What a 2-hand finish. That was 8.5 to play. Skip all the way to Kaluma. Condon can't quite cut him off. And with the left, Arthur Kaluma puts it in for his
3. It's now back up to 8. Can they get it to Wagner or Thero? Thero, that's way short. Didn't come off. For Jimmy Chaslier, over 20 points, is 0 for 4. Gainey will fire from the baseline, no good, and that's a Florida rebound.
Out there. And he's looking to take on this Wildcat team by himself.
Williams right into the chest of Condon to finish.
I'd rather for him just catch it and lay it in.
Lay it in, absolutely.
Here's Jordan Wood, the 5th-year forward, deterred by Condon. Thompson had that open.
Afraid to do something like that. I just wanted to, I thought about how embarrassing it is when you miss a dunk by yourself.
Highlights upon highlights.
In the paint, the bounce out by Lubin. And a little follow away here. That's going to swish in. Powell gets the first. Carolina's missed 6 consecutive shots. Powell on the drive. Pretty scoop, but no.
Quaintance. Inside the arc, step back, no good. Rebound to Chinyelu. 16 a game. And since he's been coming off the bench, it's almost 20 a game.
He's a phenomenal talent, but this might be a different level.
And they've won every game by 13 or more this year, on track to do so again. Saunders stymied by Ruben Chinyelu. Team. Now guarding the much smaller Ames, who steps back and swirls out along two.
6-0 run for Florida. They've got this place rocking now. Chinyelu has been
They're trying to get Southern Illinois back to the promised land, the NCAA tournament where they've been to several over the years. That's a nice, strong take. And that's the first time front court. One of the reasons why so many are high on this team. Bottled up in the trees and still getting it to go is Dave.
Defense kind of suffocated them in the first 20 for the most part.
That would not qualify as a better shot. A little bit of a prayer for him.
Was the end of his career.
Right.
It was the championship game, the second back-to-back title that Florida won. So he couldn't go any further. And
night. Reverse no, follow yes. Right place, right. Steffi bottled up. Into the corner, it's Sykes in traffic, no. And two Gators battling for the...
Here with the defense that was lacking at times. So in the NCAA tournament game. Spence has to fly by. You get a foul on the floor. It just might be...
Knox down with the rebound. It's now 4 boards for the starter, Knox. This is Stroud going right at Chinyelu. Get that out of here. That's